calling fallen angels demons is a misconception. Demons are actually the offspring of angels and human females. Did their offspring leave their bodies behind? Will science try to combine their chromosomes with ours? And if chromosomes are years, what does that mean for your temple? It's time to cast out the money changers and scourge them with Let's Blending! Okay, as you see, I have it working. But there was a problem. It turns out that changing the textures of the materials with certain screen settings will cause Blender to crash. And not just once or twice in a great while, which is fairly excusable in the grand scheme of things, but every time something was changed, it crashed, sometimes multiple times. So, while it is going to be a bit harder and use a few more resources, I'm going to do something else rather than change the texture. First, I'm going to show you what I did to change things. The only real additions I did was with def generate inventory, I increased the range to 102 instead of 45, because I'd rather have one list holding all the different inventories so it's easier to swap between them than having several different inventory lists. Now this is good if you have a limited or static amount of inventories, like the player has, like in Harvest Moon, you had your inventory, the chest that was in your house, and at some later date a refrigerator. And I think even a armoire or something like that, some French thing, which is perfectly fine. Now if you have something closer to Minecraft where the player can put down as many treasure chests as he wants, then you might want to create a dictionary of inventories. But I'm going to do it this way because I find it easier. And range 0 to 44 will be basically for the player inventory. Then you set aside 5, one or two for swapping things around, a few for crafting, and then you have the rest for storage, and a couple extra just in case. Another thing I did was this here is useless because it swaps the texture. This just swaps mesh. We give it the item name, controller, gets the owner, and uses own.replaceMesh to replace the mesh with the item name. Now, the great thing about Blender is you can throw it a string and it'll know which mesh, which object it needs to get, if it exists. If not, it'll throw up an error. And I also created this, def display number controller. Owner gets the owner from the controller, parent gets the parent. We blank out the text. If inventory in logic.globalDict keys, that's to make sure that the inventory key is there so we know we have an inventory. If logic.globalDictionary inventory parent index, we're making sure that we have something there instead of just none. This first part, logic.globalDictionary inventory, gets our inventory. This par, PAR, is the owner's parent. And index is the property index. And then we say own property text equals string logic.globalDictionary inventory parent index 1 instead of 0, because 1 is where we put our amounts. And if you haven't noticed, we have text objects, which was a great addition because previously to do text you had to use some Python script foo someone created to turn a TTF file or a text or a font file into an image. You could actually modify the image as long as you didn't destroy the dot matrix barcode at top. It was annoying. But this, I think, is a bit more effective. Personally, I didn't do this, and I might do this with all of them. I like my previews to be about a 2. Not that it matters in the game, because it'll always ramp it up to 100 million. Personally, I kind of like the blocky, low quality look. Okay, and here you can remove or add the text game property. This is unique to text objects. This gives you a capital T text, and then you can pass it whatever. We're basically blanking them all out, and then specifically changing the ones that need to be changed. We have here, on an always center, sensor, set with a frequency of 60, the display inventory dot display num. You don't have to pass it those parentheses or the controller, it gets that itself, which I think is fantastic. Now, since we're changing the mesh, we are going to use a separate plane for each object, each item, and normally you'd give them each an individual material, and we have the materials to do that. But I'd rather not have 200 million, okay, closer to 200 different materials just for the objects. So, since everything's pretty small, I created one material. I meant to say material earlier, which is actually a texture sheet. Now, I only have 3 or 4 items on here, and this is going to be blanked out because it bleeds onto the gold bar. I hate it when my textures just bleed everywhere. But the good news is, what is it? Nope, not that. And I hate it when that keeps popping up or down and up and down. User preferences. System. We can turn bitmaps off and on and off. And since we're changing text, not our text, our meshes, we have our bitmaps off. It doesn't randomly try to turn them back on. So while we will have a separate object and a separate mesh for each object, you can't have them sharing the mesh. We will be able to do it all on one texture sheet, or at least I will. You can do 2 or 3 texture sheets if you want to. If your item textures are a lot bigger than mine. Personally, if you're going to do a texture sheet, I'd stick with terrain sizes like 512 by 512 or 1024 by 1024. They're all sharing the same material, so it's not like it's going to have to keep reloading. It'll have it in memory. Another thing to notice, and what I like to do, is get my properties on both sides of the screen so I can show you object and mesh. For the inventory screen itself, they can share the mesh because they're just changing the mesh, which is fantastic. Basically what I did was I chose one, renamed the mesh, clicked on it, went Control C to copy it, went down, Control V, there it is, did that with every single one of them. Because I didn't want to delete them all and then use Alt D to duplicate. one more little bit of text. Inventory control. This should technically allow me to pick up and place items, but I'm not entirely sure if it does yet. So let's click on this. Here's the logic editor. And we have to set this up. And I'll go over the script in a minute. That should be our over sensor. It seems I deleted my camera. We'll do this without a camera. Okay, if this works, this should follow my mouse, and I should be able to pick up and place items. Okay, it is kind of following my mouse, and I'm not able to pick up items. But it's kind of following my mouse. sometimes I don't even. These takes no arguments when given. Oh, ha ha ha. Now I know where I went wrong. I accidentally put object in here instead of up there. See, debugging's annoying. None. Okay. And 053. Yep. I figured that would happen. Okay, let's see. so it's working, it's just not showing anything. So it's in the display inventory. And it should be working. Well, hopefully I'll have the answer next time.